Hi, church family. I'm Pastor Janine Smith, and I'm here with Pastor Bill Mead and his wife, Jeannie. How many years have you guys been married?
51.
51. Oh, you've passed over.
Yeah.
Past the golden. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, you guys have been married 3 times as long as I have. So can you give me 1 or 2 pieces of advice?
Oh, man. Communication.
I'd say, yeah.
Communication. The other one is love your spouse and enjoy your spouse.
And give each other grace.
I like that. Give each other grace. That's good. Okay. Communicate. Bill, I'm going to poke you. Communication, like what? What does that mean?
Well, for Jeannie, because her love language is quality time, we sit in these chairs, we talk to one another, and she wants to know the feeling words. What's going on inside of me? What made you think about that, or what's causing you to have that reaction, or whatever it may be. So for me, I had to learn, because that was not what I knew, how to communicate in a loving way to Jeannie so she would know who I am.
That's nice. And Jeannie, when you said give each other grace, what did you mean?
Well, I was more or less thinking about the coronavirus season. And part of the reason that we wanted to do this class is because we're noticing being in each other's space almost 24/7, you don't recover from your bad attitudes that might crop up during the day because the person's right there. So there's a little more shortness sometimes. And
yeah.
It's just more challenging. And we've never had it like this before. So it's really good to experience this before we do this book study.
Yeah. So speaking of the book study, you guys didn't even know I was going to ask you those on the seat questions. So thank you. Speaking of the book study, you guys are doing a book study for our church family. How did you choose the book? What did you choose?
Okay, the book is called Fight Your Way to a Better Marriage by Dr. Greg Smalley. And about 2 years ago, someone gave us the book. We read it. And we thought, this is really good because it just talks a lot about who we are, helps us to look internally as to who we are, and then how we react to each other and think about each other. And so we read it, liked it, and then about this summer, we actually did it with a couple of couples, a small group.
We did a little book study.
We did a little book study just to see would it work in a book study form. And then we thought, well, we'd like to do it for the entire church just because the material is so good.
And for such a time as this, that there's so many suspended relational opportunities that we're just going to give it a shot and see if it tickles people's fancy and they sign up. But I want to say something really important about this book. It's Fight Your Way to a Better Marriage, but what do you call this? Subtitle, thank you. How healthy conflict can take you to deeper levels of intimacy. And it's really true, but you have to really be willing to be self-aware and be open enough to let God do his work.
So this would be not to be afraid of your disagreements or your frustrations with each other, but to come and learn a good, healthy way to interact.
Right. I mean, so many of us weren't trained well in our family of origin how conflict was handled. Mm-hmm. This gives us really very practical tools, besides learning about ourselves, tools to work through those places where it's tough.
May I share the two couples that we did this book study with. One had been with us for 3 years on some of our marriage material journey. And the other couple, not at all. But they wanted to do it together, and they didn't know each other at all. So I think this can be helpful to those who are trying to decide whether they want to do this. But the couple, it was more the lady of the couple, was more anxious for the practical, she called it. Mm-hmm. I said, well, it's going to get very practical, but you've got to go through the beginning chapters to identify your personal triggers, what lies you believe, and have the opportunity to replace the lies with the truth, which helps both of you understand each other better when you can unpack those. Mm-hmm. But as the book goes on, it's very practical, and one of the most engaging aspects of it to me. I love the whole thing. The author, Greg Smalley, the executive director of marriage for Focus on the Family. They share very openly, honestly, and you can even chuckle sometimes when you're reading the book. So I really don't want people to miss the opportunity of reading the book. But the next to last chapter is the most beautiful, practical steps to have a win-win conflict resolved.
It's so good. Because I know for me, my husband and I, like you said, Bill, like people come from their own family of origin. We had really different styles of conflict, and it's not right or wrong, but we have to learn to come together.
Right.
So what are some details about the class? When does it start? You may or may not know how to sign up. Tell us some of that.
Okay. It starts on February 18th. We're going to run from 7:45 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. 1 hour. The class is going to be a few minutes of us just talking a little bit about the chapter, and then we do breakout rooms where we're going to have discussion questions and or tasks to do in that smaller place. And then we'll come back at the end for 3 or 4 minutes to do a wrap up. It's 9 weeks long, and we picked that time because we're hoping we can get people also that have some kids, that their kids are in bed and so forth. So we're hoping that it's a time that can be creative and good for everybody.
Sounds good.
One of the breakout room desires is that we would have one of our marriage mentors. We have coaches, we have mentors. We would actually lead the small group so that it would give some continuity to how the small group is run.
Sounds great. So, church family, if you are interested in this material, I'm going to put the link at the bottom here. You need to go sign up. It's for Thursday nights starting in a couple weeks on February 18th. And you're going to want to buy the book. This isn't just a go and listen to Bill and Jeannie. We've talked about this, and you've got to go buy the book, and you can get it on Amazon delivered right to your home. So, church family, this is a great opportunity to invest in your marriage. Bye.
Bye.